all of us have people in our lives whose opinion matters to us. And I don't think it's so much a case of completely disregarding what any external entity has to say about ourselves, but instead about choosing those entities and choosing those individuals wisely. Because what those people can say can actually be incredibly beneficial and useful for us to integrate into our own understanding, not only of ourselves, but of what we could change or what we could progress or develop into. And so to completely dismiss that would be like the old saying, to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And so in this kind of way, when we're trying to go towards our goals and be the kind of people that we want to be, to live up to our potential, there can be moments where we feel like we let ourselves down, or we can feel like we just aren't quite doing enough for what we're wanting to achieve or the kinds of people we want to be. And I also like to do this thing where I try to flip my monkey brain back on itself as much as I possibly can, to use its own kind of circuitry against itself for my own betterment. And one of those examples is when I think about these people that I respect, that I admire, that believe in me, the people that are in my corner, that are wanting me to succeed. And in those moments where times are getting tough and I feel like I might not be able to do something or make the distance, what has been helpful for me is to keep this phrase in mind. Don't disrespect the people that believe in you. But what do I mean by that? We have people in our lives, everyone, we might not even consciously know that they are someone that believes in us. It might just be, let's say you're in school, it might be the quiet kid in the corner that you've never interacted with, but they believe in you. It might be your parent. They might not be able to verbalize it, but they believe in you. If you're here, if you're watching these videos, I believe in you. I have the feeling that if we're on a similar kind of wavelength, then we're able to accomplish the same proportional amount of things for our own journeys, for our own endeavors. And it can get dangerous when we start to compare ourselves to others and to think, oh, well, we're not doing X like this person or like that person. But when it comes to our own personal journey, we need to do our best to try to maximize what we are capable of doing. And to this group of people that believes in us, to go against the potential that they see in us, not even of ourselves, but what they see in us, is to not only be not living up to our own potential, but it's to be actively disrespecting what they think of us. And sure, it might be good to potentially disrespect those that provide limiting beliefs to us, to then be able to break through and overcome them. But I'm more so talking about this in the context of those individuals that positively know and believe and feel that we are capable of achieving what we're wanting to do, what we've set out to achieve. And in those times, putting that focus back on ourselves to almost not want to disappoint someone else can be useful, I found. It's not ideal, obviously, because we're not wanting to delegate our sense of self-worth to another person that's outside of ourselves. We have to maintain a sense of integrity and self-worth and self-love, obviously, within ourselves. But I found that it can be a useful strategy when times get tough, when we feel like we can't keep going, when things just don't seem to be working out. And for those of us especially that still retain some sense of self-limiting beliefs, having this external support, even if it's a fabrication, can be incredibly useful. If not permanently, if not forever, at certain stages of your life, I think it can be very, very useful. It goes without saying that we want to use this carefully. We want to take it with a grain of salt, because if we overemphasize this in our life, if we use it too much or we put too much weight into it, then that can potentially lead us to putting all of our expectations into the opinions that others have of ourselves as compared to our own opinion of ourselves, which at the end of the day is the most important. But much like in these stories of how the sheer belief in a particular hero can help them to just get across the line, maybe not every time, but in particularly difficult moments, we can do the same. If you resonated with anything in this video or have enjoyed any of my other videos, then you may want to join us in the server on Discord, because ultimately that's going to be the best place to interact, share updates, stay accountable, and just really be a part of this community that I'm hoping to build around here. And if you're wanting to keep up to date with my movements and the different stuff that I'm doing as well, then my Instagram will be in the description as well. But as always, thanks for watching, thanks for being here, and do more than you